What's up, everyone? It's AlpoCrypto. Just going to take you guys over a market update. I've got my mate here on the bed with my cat. So it's not too serious, but I just want to go over some daily charts and some 4-hour charts just to show you guys what I'm seeing in the market. Those coins will be VEN, BTC, ONT, LTC, TRX, and ADA. So let's start on Bitcoin here. Now, I wanted to show you guys, what I'm seeing on this chart. We're starting on the daily chart here on Bitfinex. So first of all, I'm just going to start by drawing some trend lines. So we've got a resistance line there. Here we go. So we had this wedge consolidation on BTC on the daily chart. Now what's happened here is we've broken down. We found some consolidation around this level here. Now we're sort of in no man's land. There's a little bit of previous resistance structure here, but I don't see it holding up too long. We've actually created a lower low on the daily compared to this one here, and that usually is a continuation of a downtrend. Plus, we've broken, a pretty much 16-week long consolidation. I don't see us sort of going to the moon yet, but I do see us stabling out, and it will be a slower drop. So in the short term, I do see us retesting that sort of 7172K mark, which is the previous resistance trend line. If we go to the 4-hour, we just had some movement this morning. Oops, accidentally moved that. Let's just get rid of that. So what we've got here, like we had a trend line coming up. We had a previous top here. Get rid of that. We had a previous top here with your previous support level. Now we've broken through there on the 4-hour. I do expect us to retrace back down to the sort of 6640 mark. Before finding support on previous resistance and potentially retesting the swing high at 6.8 here. Getting above 6.8 will be good, and it will take us up to that sort of 7.1, 7.2 mark, which I am expecting on the daily time frames. But I don't think we're out of the jungle yet, guys. I do see us sort of, coming up, coming back down, and then sort of retesting this high here. Now, if we do get a rejection, I think it will be steep and it will be sharp. But look, it's not really a trading zone at the moment. We do have a bit more volume coming in, but nothing too serious. I don't think this is the bottom here. There was a nice bullish engulfing on the 4-hour, but the daily just wasn't strong enough. So that's BTC for me. And then BTC, look, we did cross a pretty key resistance level at 6.6. So I do see a little bit of a pullback today, and then potentially another retest up to the 6.9, 6.8 mark, which would be good. A close above there will take us to the 7K mark, which I'm expecting. Let's go to VeChain. So as we've got VeChain here, it's a clear chart. Let's just start charting this one up. So I'm going to start VeChain a little bit differently today. I'm going to get a vertical line. I'm going to start it from this new market. We did find a bottom there. We're in a new cycle, so I'm going to grab a trend line, come up here. So what we've had, guys, we've had VeChain on. This is a 1-day chart, so we did have 1 touch, 2 touch, 3 touches here. We broke through. We found a little bit of resistance on that trend line there. We've come back down. We've retested it again and found resistance. And look, we didn't actually create a lower low here, so I think the bottom is in now for guys for VeChain. I think this is the bottom for now, unless BTC pikes it. But as you can see, we've got some horizontal structure giving it support here, and we do have a little bit of resistance at this level. So once we come up and test that sort of 50K mark, I do think we will run into some resistance. That's the 1-day chart. Let's clear everything and go to the 4-hour. I did signal this, I think yesterday. I saw a right-angled triangle continuation pattern come up. So we had the uptrend here, and we had some resistance structure horizontally there. Now, I've got it here, guys, the ascending triangle. It's very bullish, and usually you come up, you pop up with some volume, and you retrace and you find support on the previous horizontal resistance line. So going back to VEN, my target was the width of the start of the wedge, which is pretty much hit to the exact T. So if you were in my signals group, you would have got that call. Unfortunately, we didn't get the best entry, but what can you do sometimes? So at the moment, I see it running into some resistance at the current levels it's at. We've got resistance at sort of 49k, so I do see us sort of consolidating for a little bit. We might form a falling wedge or a bull flag, but nothing that I can see yet. It's not really a tradable position, but I wouldn't be selling VEN yet. I think it's a bit early, and I think it's a hard market to sort of predict. So just hold on, maybe put your stop losses, just above sort of 46k. ONT guys, this has a mainnet coming up as well. Let's go to the daily chart. Very parabolic move from ONT lately, so I do see it sort of approaching the top. I will update the guys in my signals group, but we've sort of had a double top at this region here on the daily chart, around 10,700 sats. We had a little bit of a falling sort of flag pattern here on the larger time frames. We did pop up out of that, and we're sort of finding a bottom now on previous structure. So it doesn't look too bad, guys. It's held up very well through all these drops. My only concern is this little candle here. When it does close, hopefully it doesn't make a lower low, because that would see us come back down to start a little bit more of a downtrend. But I do see us retesting that 10.7 mark. Let's see how that plays out on the 4-hour time frame. It doesn't look too bad at all. So I'll show you guys what I'm looking at. So it had had a little downtrend forming. We popped up with some good volume, as you can see here, when the volume spiked, confirmed the breakout. And now, guys, we're just sort of ranging. We've pulled back to a horizontal support zone at this sort of 9,820 mark, and it's a 38.2 fib bounce as well, if you do want to draw that up. So yeah. So we've bounced off a fib level around 61.8, and we're heading back up. So I wouldn't be too stressed out with ONT. It looks really good. LTC, USD, this is the tricky one. I know everyone likes LTC and they hold it long term, but in my eyes, it doesn't look too healthy. So we're on the 1-day Coinbase chart. This is the USD. This is the USD pairing instead of BTC. So what I've got here, guys, let's just draw some structure first. We've got a horizontal support where it is now at about 93 US dollars. If that doesn't hold, guys, our next main structure is around $48 US. Now, people say, oh, it can't get down there. Well, it can. If we do break this, there's not much support structure around here. There's a little bit around $65, but I think the market wants to see a little bit lower for LTC. If we draw some trend lines, guys, we have broken down on the daily. So we had a sort of a wedge consolidation pattern, just like BTC. So I do find LTC to be pretty bearish at the moment. I wouldn't be trading this. It's actually good short potential if we do close below the $93 mark. So if you do trade on those Bitfinex or BitMEX leverage sites where you can, leverage a little bit of your money, I would sort of recommend a short position if we do break that horizontal support. Not financial advice, just what I'm seeing on the charts. Let's go to TRX. So this one had its mainnet, a little bit of hype, got up to sort of 1,100 sats. Our group literally sold this one at 995, which is pretty much at the top. So that was a really good trade from us. We did about 30% on that one. I'm just going to show you guys what I'm seeing overall on the daily Tron chart. So let's get a vertical line. We're going to start where the new market structure started. We don't want to really start drawing our trend lines from up here and down. It's not how I trade. So we've got an uptrend here. Perfect. Now I'll zoom in for you guys. I want to show you what I'm seeing. So we've got 1 touch, 2 touch, 3 touch, nice bounce. We came down. We didn't respect it for the 4th time. We broke below, and then see that inverted hammer there on the daily? We actually tried to push back up and get back above that trend line, but we found a lot of resistance on previous support. So it's sort of in no man's land. Although we do have some horizontal structure, I can see just along here at 630 Satoshi. So, what would I want to see to enter this coin? I probably wouldn't enter it yet, but a bullish engulfing on the daily, which would take us higher than this wick here. Let me see. So our previous swing high, I'd want to see a bullish engulfing above this level here before we start seeing some higher highs and higher lows. So there's not much market structure to go off. So really not a tradable position for me. 88/BTC. This is an interesting one. Similar position to Tron. Now, what I'm seeing on this is, let's grab my vertical line, new market structure. It bottomed out at this sort of 1900 Satoshi level. We've started an uptrend. Same thing as Tron, guys. We broke down. We found a little bit of resistance on the same level there. I'll just zoom in so you can see. We found some resistance on that same trend line, and we've tried to bottom out at this 2400 level. We've sort of got a double bottom coming now, but I think we might break below here, guys, on ADA, depending on what BTC does. So this level here is extremely important for ADA. I think if we don't get a bullish engulfing on the daily, guys, we're going to be heading down a little bit lower. How low? Look, I'd be looking around sort of 2,000 Satoshis, maybe even lower. Maybe even back to that sort of 1,800 Satoshi level, which would be a great buy zone. This is a good coin fundamentally, so there's a big buy zone here in my opinion. And this just goes to show, guys, that I don't think the market is bottomed out. Usually the altcoins react to how, well, they are correlated to BTC. So when you see them, really not showing any signs of a reversal on a key support level, it sort of tells you, maybe BTC does have a little bit lower to go. And I will go back to Bitcoin after this. Did we go with TRX? We did. So I'll go back to Bitcoin. So what I'm seeing here, guys, we made the lower low on the daily time frame. A lot of people are saying, look, it looks to be bottomed out. I just don't think that's the case, guys. I think we will see sort of that 5.5, 5.9 mark, just based on that lower low there. I'm not convinced that we can just start popping up now. Usually what would happen is we would find some support on that level at 6.6. We broke straight through it, and usually we'd start heading up to make a lower high. See here, lower high, lower high, lower high. Usually we'd come up and make a lower high here and hit that resistance trend line, but it just doesn't seem to be the case because we've closed below, and that just gives the market confidence that we are going lower. So what I would want to see, my buyer zones are around this level, 5.6 mark. I want to see BTC get down to that mark. I think, look, I think that's a good level of buying opportunity. Any lower than that, you're sort of looking at, your 4.5, 4.6 mark, which a lot of traders are saying. I don't think that's out of reach. I think, this is a bear market at the moment. We're in bear territory. I think volumes are pretty low, which isn't a bad thing. I think public interest is low, which isn't a bad thing. I think it's an accumulation phase, and I think it's a market cycle. So I wouldn't be stressing. I think it's a good time to build Satoshi value. I'm not saying the market's going to go all the way down. We will have little hiccups. We will have lower highs and lower lows, but we closed below that previous structure here. This was very important, and a lot of traders don't look on the daily chart, so they don't understand this. That's all I can say, guys. I'm not really bullish right now, but I do think we will retest that major trend line at sort of 7.2. We will head up to 7.2 again, I believe. So stay tuned for the next video. I'll let everyone know my thoughts, but at the